Welcome back to another episode of the Unstuck Career Podcast. I have with me again, it's not again, but again, I have somebody with me, but this time I have the second income guru. This is Karen Thomas. I met Karen, you'll never believe this. I met Karen on Owl. It was 2 or 3 weeks ago that we talked to Jason Hill, who's the founder of the app. But I've had some amazing conversations with amazing people, and Karen's one of them. So welcome, Karen.
Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to be here, Ken. I appreciate so much the opportunity to come share good information and hopefully at least change one person's road into a better one. If I can do just one person, I will be happy. It's not about the millions and billions. It's about being real and changing the opinion and perceptions of at least one person to understand the freedom that they do have.
And that's true. We do have freedom. We have freedom, even though we sometimes live with the illusion that we don't. We 100% have freedom. And so I want to learn a little bit about you, and I'm going to use the context of questions and comments that I get on some of my social media posts. One of them is, I had somebody the other day that because I reach out to a lot of my new followers, and I'll just say, hey, are you here just because you want the content, or are you looking for career tips, or are you ready to get unstuck? And so I started dialogue. Sometimes it continues, sometimes it doesn't. But there was this one person who said, I'm stuck. And I said, okay, what's holding you back? And they said, money. And I thought, and I know what they're thinking. And so I thought, I'm going to be a little bit of a snot about this. And I said, too much money? And they said, no, not enough. Now, I could tell you my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about somebody who imagines that they can't move forward because they don't have enough money? How would you respond to that?
Well, the way it was told to me is if you think you don't have enough money, then you're lying to yourself, because all you need is a better strategy on how to get the money.
Right.
Because if somebody handed you the money, it'd be gone just as fast as it's been gone in the past.
Right.
They say that, it's not, they've given millions away to people just to see what they did with it. And they were just as broke within 2 months, 4 months as they were before, because we are not taught how to think and respect and grow money.
Yeah. In fact, the thing I heard this from one of my mentors the other day, the thing that we're taught in life, school, college, etc., is how to spend money.
Yep.
But the only thing we're taught about how to earn money is to trade our time. Go get a job, put in 8 hours a day, maybe overtime, and then they'll reward you, and I'll put that in quotes. They'll pay you. I have a thought that I won't say right now, but maybe I'll come to it. But they'll pay you for your time. And that mentality, I found, is what holds people back. That's what keeps us stuck, is because we assume that the only way to make money, to generate an income, is to trade our time for the money. And if we don't have any more time to give, then we assume that there's no opportunity for any kind of an upside.
Right. And who taught us all that?
Well, I think there's a system in place that teaches us that.
Exactly. And it was put together by the secret societies.
Yeah. John Rockefeller.
Well, the thing is, most of your presidents, all of your big businessmen, all belong to the secret societies that teach you how to think. Because making money is not about the physical. It's about how you think.
Right.
And they have all been taught in these secret societies the secrets to doing that. Mm-hmm. And the thing is we've all heard about the book Napoleon Hill wrote about Think and Grow Rich, right? Yeah. Well, he actually wrote the laws of success first.
Yeah.
And the secret societies told them, they pulled it from the shelves and told him he had to rewrite it because it told too many of the secrets. So if you read Think and Grow Rich, it is really the book of the dummies book
Uh-huh.
for getting rich, because it's the dummied version.
Yeah.
If you really want to know the secrets, then you go read Napoleon Hill's 8 books, Laws of Success.
Ah.
But anyway, there's lots of books now because science is now proving that we can affect our future. We can affect how things are created by our thoughts.
Yeah.
And the media out there doesn't want to talk about it. They want the advertisers know how to use all of these tricks on our mind to keep us locked in those habits of spending money, not on how to become more productive or how to think our way into having a better quality of life, because it's not always about money.
True. Yeah, and I mentioned Rockefeller because he was heavily involved in the creation of the education system as it stands, and he didn't want thinkers. He wanted the grunt workers,
the ants, the worker ants.
He wanted good employees, people who'd come in, and so it was back then. It was the 1800s that, or early 1900s, where let's build this system of creating model employees. They come in, they do their job, go home. And this, when I was growing up, that's the message that I got.
Yep.
That you go to work, do your job, go home. And I remember my dad ranting one time that these schools aren't teaching people how to think. No, of course not. They teach us what to think. The media tells us what to think about. But it's a really important distinction that you make, that there aren't that many sources, mainstream sources, that show us or teach us how to think, because it would be disruptive to too many high profile people.
Right. They don't want everybody rich because then they have no control.
Yes.
It's about the control. Yeah. And everybody has their opinion on it, but it really boils down to are you programmable, and have you looked at upgrading your programming here with the newest version?
Right.
Most people don't realize how programmed we have been from the time we were little.
Yeah.
When we were very, very little and infants, we were cooed on, and we could, babies can pee on us. They can throw up on us. Right. They can scream, and we're still there. Oh, what's wrong? Happen? Come on. Come on. I love you. And we're just gobbling all over these babies. They start talking and walking, and all of a sudden they're now getting, no, don't do that. No, don't cry. They are now having, what happened to this unconditional love? They are now being taught conditional love, and that everything has a cost to it. If you want the ice cream after dinner, you have to do something to earn it.
Right.
And so we are taught from very, very little that we have to earn it.
Yeah.
And that is, for most people, what they accept. The thing is most of us don't even think about, how do we want to earn money when we grow up?
Yeah.
Most of us start taking the first jobs that we can get somebody to say yes to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people never move out of those beginning jobs. They just start moving up in a company. They don't even look at what would make their soul happy. They they don't take any care in exploring what kind of daily activity would make them truly happy. Because I don't know if it was Zig Ziglar that said, if you love your work, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I don't remember who said that, but somebody did.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's fascinating because one of the things as I engage with people in social media comments, I'm having fun, and but I'm also trying to nudge them a little bit. As a coach, I have decided that I will better serve people by telling them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear. And
Mhm.
so I've had this conversation many times with different people. Um, they hate their job, they hate their life, they quit their job or they're going to quit their job. And I say, great, what would you love to be doing? And they answer the question because I'm asking, what's your passion? What lights you up? And they're saying, well, I've been doing medical billing, so I would be looking to do something like that. And I push back and I say, do you love medical billing? You have a skill, I understand that, but do you love it? And if they do, fantastic. But they don't. I was talking to one person a while back who seemed to be at an entry level job at a retail store and hated it and wasn't getting hours and things like that. And I said, what would you love to be doing? And she said, I would love to do something with animals. Well, what skills do you have or what talents do you have? And she said, well, I would love to just walk dogs or train dogs. And I said, so my son has a dog that needs to be trained. I know there are dogs on this planet that need training.
Mhm.
And so I said, what if you build a business? I was talking to a 17-year-old um, online the other day. She said, I hate my job. Well, what would you love to be doing? The same thing. Animals. I'd love to do something with animals. Well, why don't you put out flyers and offer to walk dogs or house sit cats or do something. And I know, in fact, we on the podcast a couple of months ago, we had Jordan, that's her business. She is a pet caretaker and very successful business.
Mhm.
And so, um, but we don't have that awareness because we haven't been trained that possibilities outside of this trading time for money
Right.
actually exists.
And that's why I'm so excited with what I have to offer,
Mhm.
because the platform that I work with is a school for working from home. It's an academy that teaches so many different avenues and will teach you how to build it, how to build that business from home.
Right.
Because that's what holds people back. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. It's scary. And when you don't have a community that is supportive, if you only have your husband or your children that are depending on you and they're saying, what are you doing? You can't do that. We need that paycheck. It makes it really hard to step out. But when
Right.
you can start with one thing, and when I first started with this academy, I started writing letters. I needed a way to stay home with my mom. I needed a way that I could spend a couple hours and I didn't have to sell anything. I've been in
Mhm.
sales for 40 some years. I was
Yeah.
the Avon lady extraordinaire. I've sold over $1 million in product, but it is repetitious and it is so it's a cycle of every 2 weeks. If you don't get out and get the new books and push and push and push and push, you're only as good as the last book that you sold.
Right.
And it's exhausting. It is just so freaking exhausting.
Right.
So I said, with wanting to stay home, I need something that I can do, that I can almost guarantee that if I put 2 hours in it, that I will get the money. I will have the money to stay home.
Hmm.
So I heard about this academy and
Hmm.
about the writing. So I joined the writers group, and it's $5 a letter,
Uh-huh.
and I can write as many as I want.
Oh,
The
wow.
words are already given to me. It's already, there's no thinking to it.
Wow.
And I loved it. No thinking to it. And I said, okay, let me try this. I invested the couple $100 to try it out.
Right.
And that's what scares people is they don't want to, they think they're going to waste money if they
Yeah.
try something.
Right.
They don't understand that there's a 50-50 chance that you could love it and it could be the next best thing that could
Right.
ever happen. And if
Yeah.
it's not good for you, maybe you'll know somebody else who it is. But the thing is, if you don't try it, you won't know.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I've thrown away a couple $100 on lots of things.
Right.
So
Right.
I, that didn't work,
Yeah.
but it's okay because I found out that didn't work.
Yeah.
I started doing this. And then I realized how easy it was
Hmm.
and how consistent it was. And so now it is one of my streams of income
Uh-huh.
because personally, that's still trading time for money. I
Right.
still have to physically write it, but I binged watched half a season of Traders last night while
Oh,
I wrote
nice.
while I wrote my letters. I'm sitting there watching all the psychology BS go on with Traders. It's the funniest. I've never seen
I have
Traders.
not seen it.
Oh my God.
I'll
It
make a
it it,
note.
it is it it shows how stupid people can be when people say one word, how their brains jump to the worst conclusions ever
Oh, yeah.
over stupid stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just hilarious.
That's amazing.
So I found this because I'm in between seasons. I DVR everything because I don't watch commercials.
Right.
If I'm going to program myself, I want to program what I want in me.
Exactly. Well, and
But I sit and
that's a
watch.
great lesson also that you get um the time is a way that you can invest in yourself as well.
Yes. But if this didn't work for it, there's other avenues now that they've added to this
Mm,
academy. And so I teach that if one thing doesn't work, let's find you something.
right.
Because most people say, I don't know what I want to do. I said,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's try this. Some
Yeah.
things are selling in it, some
Sure.
things aren't. But for the ones who don't want to sell anything, don't want to talk to anybody, and don't have great tech skills, this was perfect. I'm pushing 70.
Uh-huh.
I don't have the greatest of tech skills. Learning them because I refuse to be left behind. I
Right.
am not. I tell people you can be on that. What was it? The Pony Express,
Uh-huh.
and you can die with the Pony Express,
Sure.
or you can embrace every new step in technology that comes out and see if it is a fit for whatever way you can take you to the next level in your skills, in your living. You just never know. There's so many
Yeah.
possibilities out there, but when you're not open to seeing them,
Right.
that is the lie, is that society wants to keep you in control. So they want to keep you limited in thinking that you can't make a change.
Right.
But it is also part of our ego because our ego is designed to keep us safe.
Yep.
And so when it doesn't know what's going to happen to you if you take that step, your ego's in there saying, no, you can't do that. You're too old. You're too this. You're this. And your ego, your own self, is sabotaging you along with everybody else.
Right. Well, and there were a couple things that you mentioned that I want to point out as well because I hear this frequently. Number one, I do hear a lot of the funny thing. It's fascinating to me. I for people that want to talk to me and find out if there's a way that I can help them get out of their crummy situation. I do free calls and people can get on my calendar and we have a conversation. I talk to so many people who work from home. I talk to so many people who work from home. And online, there's so many people who say there are no opportunities. There's no opportunities for remote work. And you're evidence that that's not true.
No.
But my experience, I talk to people almost every day that are working from home. I have a new client that I talked to last night. She works from home. And um, so that's not true. The other thing you mentioned is kind of a response to something I hear. And I hear this about almost every age. Well, I'm 33, so it's too late for me. Are you kidding me? At 33? No, you're not too old. And so but I do hear that frequently that, well, I'm too old. I'm too old for opportunities. I'm 53, I'm 52, I'm 59. That is not too old.
Mm-mm. I won't be too old until they put me 6 feet under.
Right.
Okay. And not that I'm going to go 6 feet under, because as far as I'm concerned, they can just put me in a little urn and put
Just
my
forget it.
ashes in the wind and put me everywhere because
Right.
everybody needs a little Karen in their life.
That's right. So you talk about this academy. How is it that you came across? Is this something you built? Is it something that you found? Because I know that you had um, a need for some additional income. How did that all come about?
Well, the academy, I was the Avon lady. And when my mom started getting up in age, I knew I would have to stay home. And the Avon business that I had that was huge. But, Avon started having problems.
Mm.
And they're a great company, but they didn't make the transition well to the online world.
Mm.
And I had to make a decision whether I wanted to wait it out and see if they made it and would survive, or if at 80, I might have to start over with a new company.
Ah,
So we had some differences with management
okay.
that I didn't survive well with. So I'm just an out of a box thinker. I'm not going to follow all the rules.
Right.
I'm going to find a way that we both can win. And
Yeah.
Avon didn't like that, so they fired me.
Nice. Well, and the rules are just made up anyways.
Right.
So,
So I've come back to them, and I do have customers I serve because life is about multiple streams of income.
yeah.
So I already had over 1,000 people. So after leaving them for a little while, I came back and I served probably maybe 30 or 40 customers. And it is a way to keep up with people I've known for years and years.
Mm.
But the thing is that if you are open and I had to say, well, if I want to work, because I like working, I don't want to sit at home and clean house and eat bonbons when I'm 70.
Right.
I don't want to have to, I don't know what's about the economy. I don't want to who wants to live on Social Security? Lord, you can't even hardly breathe
Right.
living with Social Security. And so I've been an entrepreneur for my whole life. I don't have a 401k. I don't have one of those 40 years of, retirements. So I already knew I would be working. So finding things that I can dabble in, that I can talk about, that I can promote. I'm an extroverted introvert. When I get on this, I love talking. I'm very out there. But if I had my druthers, I'd stay at home and read a good book.
Yeah.
But the thing is I'm comfortable with being here in front of the camera. So this is the gift God has given me.
Okay.
So why not use it and learn the skills for, maybe I won't be good at editing and doing all the video stuff.
Right.
I want to make enough money speaking that I can pay somebody to do that. Maybe somebody who loves doing that.
And there are a lot of those people.
Exactly. But I love talking and I love telling people about the good things and the freedom they can have if they open their eyes up and don't think everything's a scam.
Right.
There's a lot out there and I understand, but when you can hook up with somebody that's looking you in the eye and say, I truly am using this.
Mm-hmm.
This is working for me.
Right.
And you bypass that because you say, I don't know, I'm just too afraid to spend a couple $100. I'm too afraid to try that.
Right.
Then you are limiting yourself.
100%.
And I can't fix that. You have to choose the name of my company, and you can find me at abetterlifeisachoice.com because inside you have to make the choice.
Right.
I can't make the choice. You can't, Ken, you can't make the choice for them. All we can do is say, there's so much possibility out here. Let me show you what's possible.
Yeah. That's true. And so there are a lot of things out there. There are a lot of things that people probably have heard of. There are a lot of things that people probably haven't heard of. Something that I've not done for several years, but I did for a few years that I really enjoyed was mystery shops. And
yes.
For somebody, by the way, if anybody wants lists of or a list of legitimate mystery shopping companies, you can go online and buy things like that. But no, I have a list of companies that I personally have worked with, and I'm happy to send them to you. Just send me an email at ken@kenwilliamscoaching.com. I will send it to you. But a mystery shop, for people who don't know, is let's just say, if you haven't heard of the TV show Undercover Boss, it's kind of that concept. Undercover Boss, mm-hmm. The boss gets disguised up and goes to his or her business to find out what's really happening. And because if the manager shows up at the restaurant, then of course they're going to get perfect treatment. But if some random person shows up, they are going to get a much more real experience. And so I would go, places like Chipotle or Five Guys or grocery stores or um, where else? I got so excited when I got the new assignments. You can get your taxes done. You can do, I went to check cashing places where I would walk in, get a check cashed. I would get the fee reimbursed plus paid on top of that. That one of my favorites was a local restaurant. They paid me in gift certificates. And so if I got a lunch shop, they would pay me um, a $35 gift certificate, which was more than what my lunch cost. And a dinner shop would be a $50 gift certificate. And so I would walk in with family, friends, or whatever, with hundreds of dollars in gift certificates that I'd earned. And
Yep.
and all you do is you write up a
A
summary of your
report.
experience.
Right. See,
Food
the
was
academy
good. It
teaches
wasn't.
that too.
Yeah.
See, that's another form, that is another stream of income that they added how to do that and the list of companies that they
Nice.
are that you can do. But you also get the community of somebody that you can reach out to, or you can put a post in the Facebook group that you have questions.
Uh-huh.
So you get the backup support with the community on any of their streams of income.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's not just the training or here's a company that you can go do it with. If you have questions or you and the thing is when I bring people into the academy, I lock
Mhm.
arms with them.
Yeah.
I'm your person. You can text me. If I haven't personally done that stream of income, I'll work with you to find the answers. We are all here to help each other through becoming financially free with choices. And the academy has it's I kind of like buy the program and you get 11 free
Uh-huh.
because that's one. They have other writing gigs. They have 11 different how to sell on Amazon, how to sell on Etsy, how to master TikTok. The algorithm for TikTok is so amazing
Oh, yes.
that Facebook is now trying to say they're going to do the same kind of algorithm because TikTok is the way to really reach people based on what you're looking to enjoy.
Yeah. And just for people who don't understand or don't know the difference between the algorithms, um, Facebook really was the creator, the pioneer for social media. So I have
Mm-hmm.
my friends, I have my 100 or 500 or 1,000 friends.
Right.
And so as they would post events, pictures of their vacations, I would start to see that in my feed. TikTok has changed the game. TikTok is not social media, it's interest media. And
Yes, it
so
is.
the algorithm, if you like pickle recipes, and you don't even have to, it's smart enough to know what you pay attention to.
Yes.
I started getting pickle recipe after pickle recipe, or sourdough recipe after sourdough recipe, or if you have if you've heard the term doom scrolling, if you like going down rabbit holes of horrible political divisive rhetoric, you can absolutely find that there, but also positive mindset. Have a
Oh, yeah.
I post on TikTok, which goes also to Instagram, but there are people that they tell me you showed up on my algorithm right when I needed to hear it. No, it's the algorithm knows what you're looking at, what you're looking
Or
for, and I just
it
show up, which
is.
is fantastic. But um, the the algorithm that TikTok has pioneered is giving people opportunities to
Mm-hmm.
have success in ways that they've never, they couldn't imagine is even
Right.
possible. And I'm not necessarily talking huge numbers. I'm talking about the fact, small thing, not a big number. But I got an email from TikTok yesterday that said, because all I did was post videos for the last month, I got deposited into my PayPal account $164.
That's it.
And
It's another stream of income. But the thing is there's so much disinformation
right,
on TikTok that if you like going through the academy, they have a person who teaches TikTok there who is a TikToker
right,
who learned as part of the agency, who knows the rules and does and is very, very already popular and productive in making money and showing you how to do that on TikTok truthfully.
right.
without breaking the rules, but you learn and you get to go with. I mean, I was on her Zoom last night because pushing 70, they kept saying they were going to get rid of TikTok. So I said, why should I waste my time?
Right.
I
TikTok's
said,
not going anywhere.
doing this video and doing, it's still work.
Yeah.
Creating content is not for the faint of heart. So I said, why should I try putting content on TikTok if they're just going to ban it and it's going to go away? So it took me a long time to decide to go on. And then when the Academy introduced the Mastery of TikTok course, and I started going into it and I started attending the Zooms for this girl who teaches TikTok, I understood so much more about it that it gave me the ways that I can be successful in it. So I am growing my TikTok. And
Nice.
I've given up my 4 year, I still do a little bit on Facebook, but
Uh-huh.
I was on Facebook, growing Facebook for 4 years, and I'm still at what, $10 a month now that I get paid for my engagement.
Yeah, and so I love that. When you talk about your academy, talk a little bit more about that because it sounds like you have opportunities or ideas that have been curated so they're legitimate for people and they're not probably get rich quick type things, but ways
No,
that people
it's
can
consistent, it's
yeah.
dependable, it's a way to grow. I tell people you need three kinds of money. You need the now money, which
Mhm.
is why I write my letters. I spend my 2 hours, at some point in my day, normally binge watching something because I like doing it while I watch TV.
Right.
You need residual money and you need legacy money. So hooking up with companies and things that you can believe in, that you can talk about. People don't know Netflix. How many do you know Netflix? Do you know about Netflix?
Uh-huh. I've heard of it. I
Okay,
something. Yeah.
yeah, Netflix started as an affiliate. You,
Okay.
it was a network marketing program way back. That's how Netflix started.
Wow.
But see, the thing is you never know what you can sell and what you can have now. There, the FTC has taken down like Herbalife and Advocare, and you never know. Nothing is permanent.
Right.
So the only thing you can build is your own brand. But the thing is I talk about other programs and other places where I find success and satisfaction and fulfillment. I also promote a store that is nothing but clean products without any toxic chemicals.
Uh-huh.
So I have residual income that I'm building with the store. But I don't want to build it. I don't want to maintain it. I want to tell people about it
Right.
because I have diarrhea of the mouth.
It's called enthusiasm. I can go with that.
Okay, you can do it that way. I was just trying to get a good laugh.
Works for me.
Endorphins, this
Right,
is the
right.
endorphins. This is how you stay healthy, guys. Laugh.
Yes.
Don't take life serious.
Yeah. Life is hard enough as it is. And one of the things I was gonna this came to mind as you were talking earlier. Um, we can take control of our life. And
Yes.
it doesn't necessarily mean we do anything different, but knowing that we can gives us a sense of control that we many times have lost. And
Yes.
especially with the way that society kind of beats that message into us that we're victims, we can't we can't get ahead, we can't be successful because there's always somebody who's pushing us down. And then there's the different narratives that, well, because you're a woman or because you're a person of color or because you're uh, whatever your disadvantage is. And that's simply I had a call group call with my clients last night and we were talking about this, that I'm not saying that those things don't exist,
No.
but I am saying that they do not have to control your life.
No.
If if you're 69 years old, in my case 57, 35, whatever the number is, if you're a woman, if you're a person of color, if you have any other kind of quote disadvantage, there will be, it does not matter what the characteristic is, there will be people who, I'll just use the word discriminate. They will treat you differently because. And taking control and responsibility for your life does not change that. We can't change other people, but I am not going to let that situation, in my case, my boss that I quit 2 years ago, I'm not going to let him and his opinion, his attitude dictate the direction of my life. I'm going to take
Yes,
control of it. And so I
that's it.
love that that's what you're doing. So talk, um, if somebody wanted to learn more about you or about the Academy, what's the best way for them to do that?
You can go, well, you can find me on TikTok, or you can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn, but you can go to my website for all of my opportunities is abetterlifeisachoice.com. That also can help you find me on Facebook
Mhm.
and hook you up. I'm like you. I want to talk to you. If you have questions or you not sure about stuff, I give away 30 minutes. I want to talk to you, and let's figure out how we can move you forward, because
Right.
that's where depression comes from. That is where people lose hope. And that's where all this rioting and all this things in all these places is because people feel desperate. They have to do something because they don't know what would work or how they can save themselves.
Yeah.
And not that my academy will save everything, but the thing is money wise, whether you are in this country or you are in other countries, there are similar opportunities everywhere.
Yes.
And when you start learning, one of the courses in the academy is all on mindset,
Hmm.
because how we think about what we do. Now, we didn't talk about how I started all this at 24. When I was having my first baby, and new mommy, we had our house. We waited 5 years. We didn't have kids right away. So I
Right.
was building the American dream. I had a good job. I was a little administrative assistant
Hmm.
for a big company. And I got pregnant. It took me 3 years to get pregnant. It wasn't an easy thing.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm expecting my first baby, and I had a beautiful pregnancy until the day I went into labor, and it took 3 days, and I ended up with having to have a C-section because the baby just wouldn't come out.
Uh-huh.
It just wasn't moving. So at the time she was born with a birth defect called spina bifida. So a
Uh,
shock of our life.
yeah.
I tell people that, did you know that in an average person's lifetime, they will have 3 to 5 life-changing events?
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm an overachiever. I had my first 3 to 5 before I ever had my daughter.
Wow.
And my daughter was probably event number 6. But my daughter being born with her birth defect changed everything in my life.
Yeah.
Because when I went back to work after maternity leave, my job said, no, we don't need you anymore. Goodbye. So not only did I lose my job, but my job had my health insurance, and my daughter now
Mm.
had pre-existing conditions. And 40 some years ago, you couldn't get covered
Yeah.
with insurance if you had pre-existing conditions. So we had to take on paying for health care back.
Yeah.
And it's always been expensive. I don't care. I wish I had that bill now for health care, because at $250 back in 1982, that was a
Right.
lot of money. That's cheap now.
Yeah.
But this is where I started, because I didn't have a choice. I didn't say, oh, I want to stay home with my baby. My job tried to ask me, don't you want to stay home with your baby? They already knew what they were going to do before I came back.
Right.
They asked me, oh, wouldn't you prefer to stay home? And I'm like, which part of medical insurance do you not understand?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I had no choice but to find a way. And see,
Yeah.
my mom was a single parent. My upbringing was, you do what you got to do. You don't sit at home and wait and say, poor pitiful me.
Hmm.
We didn't have any money in my house. My mom was a teacher, and you know how teachers get paid, not any better. But it being a single parent, shit, I didn't get an allowance. If I wanted money, I went out and mowed the yards. I went out and babysat. I went out and pet sit. I went out and helped people do stuff. Y'all
Right.
got a few dollars? Is there anything I could do around the house for you? So I learned all that when I was little. So when my daughter was born and I lost my job, I'm like, okay,
Uh-huh.
I got to find a way from working from home. So after 43 years now, I've become an expert at working
Nice.
from home. So I am always looking for ways that I can add something to my life, add a little bit here or there that brings in a little bit more. We can talk about
Yeah.
why I didn't get into the stratosphere with all of that, because then we got to go into your money mindset and
Yes.
how we have money caps. And that was a whole new revelation when I started getting and studying mindset,
Yeah.
that we are taught how much money we should deserve,
Right.
and
Well,
we
that's
accept that too.
yeah, it becomes an us versus them thing. We
Mm-hmm.
make money a moral issue. Good
Yep.
people don't have money, or good people have money, or whatever the answer is. And I think that that's really, yeah, we're gonna have to have you back on. We'll have to talk about money
That's true,
mindset.
because it goes even beyond that, Ken. Have you ever heard of Monday's child is full of woe, Tuesday's child is whatever? I was born on a Saturday. Do you know what
Um,
Saturday's child does?
uh-uh.
Works hard for a living.
Uh, Interesting.
And so I grew up with hearing, this was a comment. It's almost like one of those nighttime stories,
Right.
it's one of those things that gets started. And as children, we accept what we are told. Up until age 7, we accept as God's honest truth
Yeah.
everything we're told.
We don't have any way
And
of
if
filtering it out.
no. And so if you don't go back and look at all that programming and saying what's not serving me,
Yeah.
and this is where I've been for the last decade, is I've been excavating all this programming that I'm saying, oh my God, I could have probably been $1 billion product salesperson if I'd have known all this
Right.
back then.
Yeah. That's
But
true. Okay.
you learn what you got. You have to be open to learning. You have to be
Yes.
open to doing. And I will leave one thing
Yeah.
with people: start improving your library. I have an audiobook library and I listen to audiobooks. And if you truly want to know the power of money, go read A Happy Pocket Full of Money. If you want to change your money status, your money, how life money is in your life, that book is eye-opening. A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I forget who wrote it.
Well, I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
So, um, yeah, this has been great, and I think it would be fun to have a conversation about money mindset, because that is something that is not taught. We're taught
No.
um, all sorts of negative things. I think in general, middle
Yes.
class experience is
On
very,
purpose. It's taught on purpose, Ken.
yeah,
And that's what people don't understand, is it's taught on purpose to keep us locked in that cycle of being a good employee, working hard for a living.
yeah, because that serves
Them.
them, and it's not. And I want to be clear, because I think this is going to support our next conversation about money mindset. There's nothing about money that's wrong. There's nothing
No,
about money that's evil.
no.
People who have money are not bad. Um,
Yes.
there are plenty of good people who have a lot of money, and there are plenty of bad people who have a lot of money. There are also plenty of good people who don't have money, and plenty of
Mm-hmm.
bad people who don't have money. In fact, I'm just going to wrap it up with this, because I thought it was entertaining. I had a conversation with somebody one time where they said money's neutral. Money is just a thing, and it's as ridiculous to think that money is a moral issue as it is to think that underpants are a moral issue. And
Mm-hmm.
if you swap the words underpants and money, it takes some of the deep, heavy morality out of money, that
Right.
and it makes things a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, but less heavy. That it's really easy to think, oh, I don't have enough money. Okay, yeah, we can all relate to that, but I don't have enough underpants. Okay, so
Money's a tool.
it is a
And I would
tool.
love to have a conversation and have all of the research and the documentation to
Yeah,
have that conversation, because that requires showing people.
Yes.
How real that it is a tool and not, and it's all, not that I want to say it's all in your head, but it's all about what we've been programmed to believe and do with money.
Yeah.
And it took me a lot of years to understand all that. What I truly learned early on was if I want it, all I have to do is figure out a better strategy to get it.
Right. It's not that hard.
No.
The author of the book, A Happy Pocket Full of Money, is David Cameron Gikandi.
Okay, might be.
And
He's in Africa. I think he's from South Africa that wrote it.
it sounds like it could be an African name. But yeah, let's schedule that conversation. Let's have that in the next few weeks
Okay.
and talk about how, because if people are thinking that they can't have what they want because quote of money, then there's a mindset adjustment that can happen. So
Right. A lot of it is deserving too. Most people
yeah,
think they have to deserve it or earn it or that they're
yeah,
not good enough for it.
correct.
There's a lot with it. I'd love to have that conversation. Of course, people can find me
Uh-huh.
and check out the academy that I belong to and that I promote um, at abetterlifeisachoice.com
Yeah, I'll put that in the show
because
notes as well.
a better life is a choice is the key
Yeah,
to changing anything. No matter what you want to do, you have to make the choice.
100%. And it is a choice. It is a
It
choice.
is.
So thanks so much, Kara. This has been a lot of fun.
I loved it.
And
You
we'll
are you are phenomenal in having conversations, and I like
thanks.
that.
Well, we'll do it again. We'll talk about money mindset and the programming that has been keeping us trapped. One of the biggest um, challenges in shifting any mindset, whether it's somebody that you work with on a second income, whether it's somebody I work with on getting unstuck, is we have to consider the possibility that we've been wrong. And that's really uncomfortable for people. And
Mhm.
our subconscious would rather have us be right than happy.
I don't think it's our subconscious; it's our ego.
Well, our ego too, but there's subconscious programming in there. We'll dig into
Right, but
that
the
one. We do.
subconscious doesn't judge anything. See, the subconscious does what it's told.
True. So
That's another conversation,
it's not a
Ken.
judgment, but it's there to protect us.
It,
And
it
being
that
wrong feels very vulnerable, very
it does, but that's
so.
the ego. That's the ego part of the subconscious, the part that keeps us safe and keeps us not going after the things we want because what would people think?
Right.
Oh, we could make a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's if you're not it's all in programming,
Yeah.
and people don't understand that we've all been programmed and we're programmed every day.
Yep.
And just like washing, if you don't take a shower, you start stinking. Well, your thinking is stinking if you're not if you're
Right.
not upgrading it and cleaning it out as well.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Let's do it again.
Yes.
All right.
I've enjoyed this so much. Thank you, Ken. I can't wait to see you again on Al. We'll
Yeah.
have more
I'll be back.
conversations on Al. Al's been the best platform I have ever found such wonderful people because you live according to who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And when you keep surrounding yourself with poor people, which is where I was,
Mhm.
I decided that I needed to find good, enthusiastic people who wanted to grow things, do things, and move and create.
Yeah.
And so Al has got all those kinds of people on it, and I'm loving it.
Great community. So thanks again. And for everybody else, we will see you next week.
Thank you.